So we have the gold and diamond camos for the launchers in Black Ops 6. And yeah, whoever put these challenges in the game, I don't think they were thinking straight on the day they came up with them, because this has been nothing but stress. So the launchers themselves are fine, but then what happens is you have to take down score streaks with a free-firing launcher, and that's not too bad. However, when you go into matches, there's oftentimes nobody using bloody score streaks. For an example, I went into 3 consecutive matches, and there was not a single score streak called in throughout the entire match from the enemy team. So yeah, it's taken a long time to get this done, but I have got both of them diamond. You'll see both of them there. And we're going to start this one off by going through the challenges themselves and exactly what you need to do. Then we'll go through the loadout in detail, and then I will put some clips on, like basically I'll show you some clips at the end of the video and explain exactly what I did to get these done. And I really do hope this helps you out, because these challenges take so long. So jumping into the gunsmith for the HE1, if we go to the camos, the very first thing you need to do with both launchers is get these military camos done. These are nice and easy. You just need to get kills or take down score streaks, and you need to do 50 for each of the launchers. Then on the HE1, when it gets to the specials, you've got Reboot, which is to get all of the military camos first. And then I believe this one is the direct hits. The way they've set up the layout for this gunsmith is so annoying because you can't see the challenges. But I believe that is the direct hits one, and this is destroying score streaks. I can kind of read that one. It says destroy 10 score streaks or enemy equipment, so on and so forth. So you get those 2 specials done, then you move on to gold. What you need to do for this one to get gold is, if we wait for it to come back across, you need to get 3 destructions in a single match 10 times. And a destruction does not work for vehicles, it only works for score streaks. So you need to wait for players to chuck up their UAVs or their counter UAVs. Then you need to free fire and make sure you are hitting them. The method I have basically come across to do this is called like a noselead. I've done a separate video for it on the channel if you want to go watch that to get full on detail. But basically, you lead your shots with this based on the nose of the UAV and the counter UAV. As soon as they come out of your line of sight, like when you're looking down the scope, that's when you fire. And you kind of like follow the plane's trajectory to land your shots. But then after you've done gold, you get to diamond. And diamond, again, is very hard to read. However, is unlock gold camo on the HE1. And then I can't even read that second challenge. I think that's get gold on both launchers. And then the final thing is get 3 kills in a single match 10 times. Quite easy. And then you go into the Sigma, which is the second one I got done. I actually completed the HE1 first. So you go through all the militaries, just getting kills or taking down score streaks. Then you get 10 direct hit kills with the Sigma. And then you go and destroy 10 aerial score streaks to get the second special one, which is quite easy because this is a lock-on launcher. So it's just being patient, and it's more time-consuming because you're waiting for people to call in their score streaks. Then you go to gold, and again, this one's quite easy because it's a lock-on launcher. It's 3 destructions. And then you have diamond, and this one you cannot see diamond, like the bottom challenge again. And a lot of people are getting stuck on this, saying that it's not tracking or anything like that. This is not score streaks. You have to get kills to get diamond. So again, this diamond challenge is actually quite easy. It's just a lot of people are getting confused because for some reason the devs decided to put the challenges in the way of the camo so you can't even see them. So that is the challenges for both the launchers to get yourself up to diamond. Dark Spine is just, you've got to get diamond on 33 weapons, and then you've got to get 5 destructions in a match, which, yeah, very difficult. It's tough enough getting 3. So, into the loadout. We'll start with the wild card. I run overkill so I can run a secondary in my primary slot. And that way I can run the HE1 and the Sigma at the same time. When I had completed the HE1, I then switched it out and I was using the XM4 so I can run around and just wait for score streaks instead of sitting at the back of the map. So some of you might like using a standard primary, some of you might like to run it this way. I did both at the same time, and then that way, if I had done, say for an example, I had finished my direct hits and I needed to wait to be able to do something different with the HE1, I could just put out the Sigma and work on that in the same match. Instead of having to change loadout and everything like that, I've got both launchers on me at the same time. Then the melee doesn't matter. I just ran concussion frag, didn't even really throw them. You definitely want the assault pack because you run out of ammo very quick with the launchers. So I'm going to say the assault pack is mandatory for this so that you can replenish your ammo for the launchers. Then I was running flak jacket because this is pretty much based on playing hardcore, so you don't want to be dealing a lot of damage to yourself Therefore, you've got the reduced damage with the flak jacket. Then I was running engineer, and that is because you can see enemy equipment and score streaks through walls and stuff. Makes it a little bit easier, especially on maps like Red Card, so that you can see the UAVs and counter UAVs and exactly where they're flying. And then the final one is vigilance, because it makes you immune to like counter UAVs and scramblers and things like that. Like your third perk doesn't matter too much. So that is the loadout I was using. And then what you want to do is at the very start, I would go into hardcore modes and I would set it up so that I was doing the face-off mosh pit. I was also doing hardpoint and domination. And that was to get the military camos. So you're getting the 50 kills or taking down score streaks. And then as soon as I had done those, I was on to the direct hits. And for this one, I would again play hardcore because in core, sometimes it can take 2 or 3 rockets to actually kill an enemy. In hardcore, oftentimes it's going to be a single hit. You do have to be careful because you will eventually get like team kills and things like that, and when you team kill twice, you're then going to blow yourself up and stop dealing damage to your teammates. So it's quite a risky one, especially because you could annoy people whilst you're doing the challenges if you're accidentally killing them. But when it comes to the direct hits, only do hardcore face-off mosh pit, and you're hoping to get the map Stakeout. That is the absolute best map for it because you can just put yourself in the kitchen and aim down the corridor, and oftentimes you're going to get direct hits. The HE1 is a lot better for direct hits. When you're looking down the scope, it's got a red dot in the middle of it, and it just seems to be a lot more accurate for hitting enemies than the Sigma. The Sigma flies around everywhere. But with your direct hits, just go on hardcore face-off mosh pit because the maps are a lot smaller. You're not going to get score streaks or anything like that because they are small maps. Score streaks are disabled. And then as soon as you've done the direct hits, you want to go onto core modes and you want to do TDM, so team deathmatch. You want to do domination, hardpoint, and kill confirmed. And that is for when you are doing the score streak takedowns. All you've got to do at that time is hang around at the back of the map. You don't need to get involved, like, especially if you're running 2 launchers. You just want to hang around at the back of the map where you've spawned, and you want to just wait for the score streaks to come in. Or if you do have a normal primary weapon, you're doing 1 launcher at a time, then just run around, get your kills, but pay attention for when score streaks are called in. And then when you move on to the diamond ones and you're going for the kills again, just jump back into those original ones from the military camos. You want to do your hardcore face-off mosh pit, you want to do hardpoint and domination. So yeah, there's a lot of confusion with this in terms of like the diamond challenge for the Sigma 2B. A lot of people are being confused, thinking it's score streaks when it's actually kills, because for some reason the devs have put the challenges in the way of the camo so you can't see what the challenges are. But it's basically getting your score streak takedowns or your kills for the military camos. Then it's your direct hits and stuff. Then it's some more score streaks. And then it's also finishing off with kills. And I will say, if you care about your kill to death ratio in this game, don't bother doing these launchers. It's going to go downhill massively. But that's the best tips I can give you, is to, like, basically you want to focus on hardcore because it's a lot easier to kill enemies. And I recommend working on both launchers at the same time. The good thing about these challenges is that, say for an example with the diamond one for the Sigma 2B, where you have to get the 3 kills in a single match, don't just get 3 kills and then leave, or get 3 kills and then switch to the other launcher or whatever. Stick with the same one, because if you get 3 kills, it's going to count as 1, but then any more progress you make in that match is still counted for some reason. Like when it comes to the diamond challenge of getting 3 kills in a single match with the Sigma 2B, I had 7 out of 10 matches done, and then I got Stakeout for hardcore face-off mosh pit, and I got a bunch of different kills in that match, and I actually completed the final 3 matches in a single match for that diamond camo. So you've just basically got to be consistent. You need to stick with it. Try your hardest to not get stressed because it can be incredibly frustrating. These launcher challenges, like Free Fire with an HE1, why? On score streaks. That's difficult enough, but then you need to add into the mix that people don't often use UAVs and counter UAVs. The direct hits for these challenges were actually a lot less stressful than dealing with the score streaks. And I mean, if they had sorted it so the vehicles counted, you could just go onto Red Card and blow up a few vehicles and that counts, it would be so much better. But for some reason, it is only score streaks that count. And on that note, we are going to wrap the video up there. That is my guide, some tips and tricks and everything to help you guys out getting gold and diamond on your Sigma 2B and your HE1 launchers. So we are going to leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about these challenges in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out. Thank you for watching.